Well, I was born in Jamaica, and at a young age I met Prime Minister Michael Manley and saw what he did to help transform the country. And I came here to Broward County January 23rd, 1975. And as I finished high school, I got a little involved within the community. But I think what drove me most is my engagement with Operation PUSH, People United to Serve Humanity. I was membership chair back in the early 80s with Ed Phillips being chairman, and worked in Jesse Jackson's campaign for 84 and 88. And saw the great need that existed within our community. I also was a part of the Northwest Business Association, whose goal was to transform the Northwest area of Fort Lauderdale, particularly Sistrunk Corridor, to bring more business and economic vibrancy to the area. And from there I continued working and getting involved and getting engaged, being a member of the Kiwanis Club for Lauderdale Lakes West Sunrise, a pretty dynamic club, membership chair there. And again, continuing to see needs that exist, primarily for me in economic development. So I became a real estate broker in 1983 because I wanted to lift folks up economically, and primarily the black community. That if you look and see the economic disparity that exists today, it's probably the largest disparity that we have in any category within our community and within the nation. So my real estate effort was to help to empower people to become more economically self-sufficient, real estate being the largest transaction that anyone ever has in their life, and also the largest equity that they have when they retire. That's a source of funding for college education for many, emergency funds if the family gets in trouble, and retirement money, and also to start businesses. So I moved from that into getting involved politically. In Lauderdale, I looked at the area of 55th and 56th Avenue primarily and see how really bad it was, especially with drug dealers on the corner at 19th Street and 55th, and thought that I could do something to help. I sat on the Political Action Committee for the Realtor Association and interviewed all the candidates for Lauderdale and other cities, but primarily Lauderdale, in 1998. As a result of my engagement with those candidates and questioning as to what they can do or would do to help with the economic development, with helping with the educational programs that they could put in place, and also how they would end the fact that we have drug dealers beckoning you at 19th Street and 55th Avenue, Mission Lakes Plaza as you drive by. And the answer was not there. Some said they didn't see a problem. Some didn't think they could do anything. So I set out from there to work towards changing it, doing beautification and getting involved. My company, my real estate office that I started in 1988, we used that for our day of service for Martin Luther King Day. And we would go out and do things within the community. So I ran in 2000, lost by 117 votes my first time out. Was encouraged against a long-term veteran, but I put forward an agenda, how to grow, help the businesses in Lauderdale, how to get the community return to vibrancy, and how to address the blight, the crime that existed in that area of 55th and 56th primarily. Run again in 2002. Got beaten worst. Lost that one by 334 votes. But what was happening is many of the ideas that I'd put forward, the city had started to work towards adapting some of them. So that was a good thing to happen. And then I ran in 2004 and won with I think about 700 something votes to spare. So that was good. And one of my supporters She says, Holness, every time you ran, I says, you know, if you win, I don't know if we're going to get all this stuff done like they start to pick up and do in Lauderhill. But I got elected, started Lauderhill Chamber of Commerce. The city bought the Mission Lakes Plaza, where those drug dealers used to be. We turned it into an arts incubator. We had Right Side Poets and Jubilee Dance Theater there to help and change that. We had police cars right there on the spot, because that's what I said we would do. If we have to move the police station to that corner, that's what we would do. You don't see that happening anymore. You drive 55th and 56th Avenue and you see total change, total transformation, and people appreciate it. The Lauderhill Chamber of Commerce has over 300 members and is a vibrant organization. Well, we have to continue ensuring that this economic disparity that exists is removed. If you look at Northwest Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach, Collier City area, you look at parts of Deerfield Beach, Dania Beach, you find that communities where there are a majority African American still have high poverty, high unemployment, and to some extent some blight still existing. We can do better than that as a people. We must ensure that we give everyone an opportunity to be productive and prosperous. That's something that I believe as a community and as a nation we must change. Money ought to be going into building people, into capital investment in people. Not just capital investment in buildings and in infrastructure, but how do we put programs in place that have training programs, apprenticeship programs, skill sets development for people of Collier City, of Northwest Pompano, of Northwest Fort Lauderdale, of Dania, of Deerfield Beach. I plan to continue being Broward County Commissioner and work on the projects and the programs that we've gotten started. One of the things that I do on an annual basis is I have a summer program for interns. We did that pretty heavy this year, and we bring them to the library, the African American Research Library, let them get books, let them see what goes on there, continue to ensure that we grow the economy. I believe that we have to sell more of our goods and our services to the rest of the world in order for us to continue to prosper. Many people don't see that as something we ought to do, but it has to be done. 11,600 people work at Port Everglades. They're dependent on that international business. The airport is another major economic engine for us. We depend on that to create jobs for people. 15 million plus people visited Broward County last year. That's billions of dollars that are coming in. It's not coming into many communities. We need to make sure that we put things in place that will attract them. And Destination Sistrunk will help to do that, because now we're going to use the rich history of the area to market to visitors who come on our cruise ships, to come and visit and see the history of Broward County. And then we have to build from there to where we now put some restaurants, some retail outlets, some entertainment centers, and cultural events and programs to bring people into those communities that have been left behind, so that the economy can be grown from there. I love the library, by the way. I grew up going to the library every Saturday. My mom would ensure that I go to the library. And Montego Bay was right on the beach, so I'd enjoy that also. And when I came here, the Mizell Library was in that one-story building across from Dickey's building, Cheryl Dickey's building, and then it moved further down to the Mizell Center. That was a meeting place and a community place for all of us. That's where NAACP met, that's where Operation Push met, that's where the Northwest Business Association met, so it became a focal point. And we need to ensure that we're doing the same thing here with the African American Research Library. And I'm grateful to be able to participate in this, and I'm thankful for your recognition of the work that I've been doing, and I'm glad to be a friend of the African American Research Library Cultural Center.